And we're back. All right, great. So,
am I allowed to just say whatever?
Yeah.
Like the awful fucking president. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, hold me closer, tiny dancer.
Okay.
Wait, Alana doesn't know Tiny Dancer.
Oh my god.
No!
We're not gonna talk about this. Okay.
Not right, girl. Not right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Woo! What is your name?
My name is Sara.
And how old are you?
I'm 28. I'll be 29 in June.
Ooh, Cancer?
Gemini.
Gemini? Okay.
Gemini.
Okay. So, number one question. Who are you on a soul level?
Whoa, that's... I like saw this and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I'm a mess. But I don't mean that in like a mean way towards myself. Like, I think that's fine. I'm just like kind of like floppy and like easily distracted. And but I'm very nice and kind and loyal and excitable, but a mess, you know, just like sloppy and floppy and all over the place. But again, like I like that. I like that about myself.
No, yeah, you should. Fuck yeah. Okay. Let's see. So, are there any life events or major happenings like in the world that affect like your ways of thinking now, or like how you process things?
In my life, or just like in the world?
Either or.
I guess, I mean, obviously, like the first thing that pops into my head for like a larger thing is like the way that 2016 went, without having to like go into too much detail. It just sort of like, I was like, wow, I'm not doing shit for other people that I thought that I was, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm just not doing enough. Because in my own personal life, like the event that happened was obviously like I like ruined my life when I was like 19 years old and had to like rebuild it from the bottom, and like seeing how difficult that was like made me go out into the world and like try to be better to others. But I mean, the past couple of years I've just been thinking about like how I could do better because of am I allowed to just say whatever?
Yeah.
Like the awful fucking president. You know what I mean? And like how much evil came out of that, and like how much, but also good, you know what I mean? And like how I need to do better, and like it's not fair for me to have what I have without like doing something. And like I haven't figured out what that something is quite yet, but trying.
Okay. So there are 3 categories. These things can relate to each other or like not have anything to do with each other. It just depends on what kind of person you are. So the first group of things is love, sex, and relationships. The next group is society, culture, and politics. And the next grouping is spirituality and religion. So I know those are very big things. So I guess out of those groups of things, which is most important to you and which is least important to you, and you can mix and match if you want to.
So probably love, relationships, society, and culture, like lumped into one. Just like a broad, like sex is fine, you know what I mean? Like I dig it, who doesn't? But like those 4 sort of put together, like I'm very big on relationships and like friendships and love and like caring, and also, like I just said, like trying to be better about seeing what's going on in the world around me and like being better for other people. Spirituality and religion, I dig it. I'm not super well versed on it. I'm not like a guru. I don't know. I wish that's another thing I need to be better at. I didn't know what Good Friday was. I was like, I don't know. It's a day.
Right,
So, I don't know.
Okay. So what did you say was most important?
Love, relationships, society, and culture, like mushed together, but probably love and relationships.
Okay, why is that most important to you?
I don't know. I'm very sentimental about my relationships with other people. Like, I think I have a lot of philosophies on why people's lives, this is super weird. So I like see people that are like 50 and 60 who only have each other and like are married and they hate their lives because they don't have like a community. Like, I think community is so important. Like, not just with like a significant other, not just with like a family, but with like an actual community of people, because like we're stuck here. You need relationships. That's like very important to me, and like being as present as I can in relationships with all my people, not just a significant other or my family, although hopefully that too.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to get you to start drawing something.
Okay.
And you're going to finish the drawing throughout the interview.
Okay.
So this is the pad right here.
Oh, yes.
So you just flip to an empty page, and
This is the stuff.
and then these are the colors. And I want you to pick a color that represents your mood right now. And I want you to pick a color that represents your life. Okay, so what colors did you pick?
So this is for today. I don't know. I just saw it and I was driving down here and it was like really beautiful outside, and this is super lame, but I was listening to Can You Feel the Love Tonight because I love Elton John, and it just feels very airy. You know what I mean? Like, spring's coming. It's like nice. And also I just saw it and I was like, that's it. You know what I mean? I'm very impulsive.
Yes, yes.
And this one? Do I explain this one too?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I mean, I just like this. I feel like it's very, it's versatile. When I make things, I do a lot of art. I use a lot of teal because I feel like it's very versatile. I feel like it can, you know, and I guess that's not like my actual life, but it's very versatile when I am making things because it fits with a lot of other colors. Like, it fits with purple, like, and there's a lot of different kinds of teal, right? So like, there's bluey teal, there's greeny teal. Like, I always just kind of find myself zooming into some kind of teal always, whenever I'm making anything. I don't know why. I just do.
What makes you the most upset?
I get really upset thinking about people in the world that are lonely. Yeah, that has always made me really upset. Like, people that have like nobody and they're just like alone. Like, I've had like breakdowns about it before, and Sean's like, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know how to fix this for you. Because like, I think about people, and I'm not gonna like put anyone on blast, but like, there's like a couple specific people that I've done personal damage to that have lives that I perceive as, if I was living them, I'd be lonely, and it just crushes me. I just think about it and I'm like, I can't, like, it just makes me cry sometimes. I'm like, you can't be without people. Like, you need some people. You need to like be, it just makes me anxious just to even think about it.
Do you think because that's something that makes you really upset that you kind of like need more people around you? Like, have you always been a person that, I guess, kind of always look for companionship and fear of being lonely?
Yes. But more, yes, like, I need people. Like, I don't like to be, I mean, I like to be alone, you know what I mean? I don't have any problem being alone, but I don't like to be lonely. And like, the times in my life when I felt lonely were like a million times worse than when I felt like broke or hungry or angry, right? Like, that feeling is just like so icky. Like, it's just icky, and I think of other people having to feel it all the time, because like, I've always had like some kind of community. I've never been like without community. Like, there's been times where I've pissed a lot of people off and I felt like I had no community, but people that don't have anybody, I just think about that, and I think about like how much even worse that is than the times that I felt like desperately lonely, and I'm like, that's the worst possible feeling ever.
Okay. So what excites you more than anything?
A lot of things. I love, okay, so on like a large scale, like on like a big thing, like thinking about like freedom, you know what I mean? Like just like going out and like doing whatever, like thinking about all the things that are just gonna like drop into my path without me even planning it. Like that's like the bit, like, and I don't think that like every day, like, oh, zippity doo dah, I'm excited to see what drops in my path today. But like just in general, like realizing that so many things have happened that I couldn't plan out, and like that's gonna happen more, and that's awesome. But like on a daily basis, like I get pretty stoked when I pull up to the Dunkin' Donuts. Like you know, just like like I get pretty excited about a lot of things. Generally, I'm pretty excitable. Like I was, you know, seriously like pulling up to the Dunkin' Donuts and being like, I'm about to have my coffee that I need, you know what I mean? Or like getting home and like knowing that my dog is there, or like getting home on a Friday and like asking all my friends if they want to go out to dinner, and then like doing that. Like, it's just so fun, you know what I mean? It's just so fun, like sitting around, like
the
just,
little things.
Yeah, just going out and like eating some new food and like playing some games and like just, you know, I'm very big on just like shitting around, for like lack of a better term, just like do it, like chilling, you know what I mean, like hanging out, like just, you know, all kinds of stuff comes out of that.
For sure. Do you have any pet peeves?
I don't like when people don't do what they say they're gonna do, almost to a fault. Like if someone cancels on me when they promise they do something, I get really pissed, like to a fault, like regardless of their reasoning. Even if I don't show it, I'm like pissed. I'm like very big on like, you show up where you say you're gonna show up. It's bad. It's not good. It doesn't leave room for people to like have things come up. You know what I mean? It's not fair. But that's it. You know what I mean? It's totally not fair. I've gotten huge brawls over it with friends and in relationships. Like it's just because it's not, you know, people are allowed to change their minds.
Right.
But I don't know. I still get mad.
No, yeah. Okay. So what are you most afraid of?
Other people, like just social situations where I have to walk into a group of people that I've never met. That is like my biggest fear. I can't stand it. Like I love people and I love friends and I love the period after we have to get to know each other where we are friends, but walking into a group, like I just had to go to this work conference like last week, and I swear to God, like it was the worst anxiety I had suffered from in a long time. Like there were knots in my stomach. I was like, just like the whole body anxiety because I had to roll up into this group of people that I had never met. I was like, this is the stuff that my nightmares are made out of. This is terrible. I don't know why.
So how did you get through that? How did you get over that like social anxiety?
So I still have it. I mean, but I just did it, you know what I mean? Like, I went in, and in my head, I was like, this is only 3 days long, and if it goes awfully, you're never gonna have to talk to any of these people ever again in your life, right? And, like, continuing to remind myself that no one is there to, like, so this is, there was this one time when I was at summer camp when I was, like, super awkward phase of my life. I was, like, 12, maybe 11, and it was awful. Like, I, like, was having trouble, like, controlling my period. Like I like would bleed through pants, and I was like really smelly and gross and like just an ugly kid, and I had to sit at a lunch table by myself. They wouldn't let me sit with them even though there were seats, and they all looked at me and laughed. And I just think of that every time. Oh my God, it literally plagues me. This girl's name was Reagan. If you're out there, just know the damage that you did to me, and I hope you feel great about it. But like every time, and like I just think about that, right? And like people are mostly nice. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like, and they were so nice. Like the people that like just this last week, they were so nice and so welcoming. You know what I mean? Like it's just that fear of like walking into this group, and I'm like, they're gonna make me sit alone at the lunch table, just like those girls at Camp Sequoia when I was 11. Like it's brutally terrifying for me. I don't know why.
No, yeah, I totally get that. Make a face that explains you. Like if you were an expression, what would it be?
Probably something like this. Like skeptical a little bit, but like kind of happy still. Like,
Okay. Do you feel like you're skeptical of like most things?
I'm very skeptical. Like I always have an argument the first time someone says something. Like if someone says something, my first thought is like to examine it. My dad is a lawyer, and so I think that he like kind of pushed that into me. Like the first thing, I always like I'm very skeptical, but I'm generally like pretty happy. Like generally pretty happy, but skeptical and like a little bit cynical. But like so kind of like like that, like off the side a little bit, but mostly still approachable. I hope. I don't know. That's a hard question. That's a really hard question.
Yeah.
What have other people done? Like nice, like
No.
no.
No one has done just a smile.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, everybody has that thing that they're like, I'm this way. Okay. So what is your favorite song right now?
Right now.
Or ever? If you, because I know sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. So I love that song. I do love Delaney Talk to Statues, but I was gonna say Tiny Dancer is probably the one.
Can you sing it for people that don't know that song?
For people that don't know Tiny Dancer?
Yeah.
Listen, do you know Tiny Dancer?
I don't think so.
It's the Elton John song. It's the Blue Jean Baby. You don't know that one?
No.
Hold me closer, Tiny Dancer. That's that one. It's by Elton John, and it is amazing.
I have to look it up.
It's in Almost Famous.
Oh, explain to me what social media is to you.
I love social media.
Okay, what do you love about it?
I do a lot of work on social media. So like with both of the things that I do, I do a lot in social media. So for my one like 9-to-5 job that I'm doing right now, I connect people with like other people. And so a lot of the times I literally would just go through a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend on Facebook. And that's like amazing that you can like find that support network just through like kind of trenching through social connections via Facebook. And I just like being able to see what people are doing with their life. You know what I mean? Like I like it. I don't really like have a problem with it. Like I see all these like cartoons where people are like, you know, people are sucked into their phones, and it's like the satire cartoons where they're like illustrating the ills of social media. But I really like it, and I think it's like maybe I'm just obsessed with it. Like I love it. I love being on it. I love looking at it. Like not even like for likes. I just like being on it. I've discovered like a ton of like designers that I love on it. You know what I mean? Like me and my mom can share videos on it. You know what I mean? Like there's jokes that are on the internet that like very much like I think it's cool that I can like tag my friend in something who lives in California or wherever, and we can laugh together. Like I don't really, I've like gone down like existential holes about like what we're trying to do with social media, and like I wrote a paper one time on how we're just trying to like make ourselves immortal for when the world ends by putting ourselves in, like trying to pour our souls into social media. But I mostly feel pretty positively about it. Like that's one of those things where I'm just like, yeah, you know, I dig it.
Do you remember that week when, not that week, oh my God, people would die, but that like couple of hours when Instagram broke? So what would you do if Instagram and all the social media said, okay, for the month of May, we're done. We'll be back in June. Like, what do you think would happen to us all? How do you think everybody would deal with that? Or how would you deal with that?
I think I would be okay. It would definitely take me a while to get over like the scrolling thing, but it probably would be good. Like as much as I do like it, we probably spend too much time on our phones. Like I definitely do. Like I'm pretty, like if someone's talking to me and suddenly I lose interest, like instead of just like powering through, which would be the polite thing to do, I will just slowly pull out my phone and be like, pretend to do something, which is pretty rude. So like, but sometimes it's just, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't care. Like, I need you to know that I don't care without me saying that to you. But I think probably our social skills would get a lot better. You know what I mean? But I would miss it. Like, I've never really gone without it, so it's hard for me to, like, I've never like gone on like a social media cleanse, so it's hard for me to say like how I would feel. But I've heard people talk about social media cleanses and they've been like, oh my god, like I see the world in full color again. So like maybe that would happen, and I like haven't been seeing things in full color since social media because I am pretty attached to it.
What's the most challenging thing you've gone through?
The most challenging thing. Probably getting sober. That probably was the most challenging thing. Like I'm thinking of like some breakups that I've been through that were pretty brutal. But probably the actually like most challenging, difficult thing was that like sort of having to like face the fact that I had like given up a bunch of potential and had to now fix my life when I hadn't even built a life. Like I was 19, you know what I mean? And like the building thereafter was just like awful. Like I just did it like I do everything, like very messy and sloppy, and like I racked up a bunch of debt, you know what I mean? And like just it was just hard, you know what I mean? And like I think it's hard for anybody to like grow up from 19 to now. It's just life is just so hard. But like that, like it was awful, you know what I mean? And I like hurt so many people, and I was just like so evil. So to just be left alone with that in the beginning was just, I felt like I had like a pretty serious like mental issues going on. It did not feel good.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any weird habits?
Oh my god, so many.
What are some
I have
of them?
so many weird habits. Let's see. So, the first thing, I'm trying to just go with the first thing that pops into my head. So the first thing is I drink pickle juice. I think it's delicious.
It is.
It's so good. People are like, that's disgusting. I'm like, it's good and it's good for you. Okay, so I drink pickle juice. Other weird habits. I'm kind of like a little bit hoardery. I don't like to throw stuff away. I mean, it's not like all the way there yet, but I place a lot of sentimental value on stuff, and not even like this is like the most beautiful stuff. I have the best stuff. It'll be like an old, raggedy shirt, and I'm like, not getting rid of this one. It's not happening. And this just popped into my head because I was trying to think of all the things my friends like give me shit for. First of all, I don't usually shower. I take baths, and then I like wash my hair with like the removable spigot and like do all that. Second of all, every day after I like take a shower or take a bath, I go downstairs in a towel, and everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm drying off. This is how I dry off. It's nice. It feels natural. Like a big towel. I'm not like naked, not just like wandering around naked. But like, that's what I do. And we call it towel time. They're like, take a shower so you can do towel time and we can watch this movie.
That's amazing.
That's what I do.
That's amazing.
It's very weird.
Okay. What's like an embarrassing moment that you could think of?
I mean, that one when I was 10 is definitely, I don't know why it sticks with me so much, but I think about it. I like recently went back and tried to find those girls on Facebook, and I found one of them, and I was like, I hate you so much. I still hate you. But I did a lot of embarrassing stuff in blackouts. Like I'd wake up places with no pants, and I would like waltz into other people's houses, and I don't even remember doing it. You know what I mean? Like I hit some people just for no reason. Like I'd show up and like spit stuff in their face or hit them. Yeah, I mean, I'm not super embarrassed about that anymore because it's been a long time.
But at the time, it was like mortifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recently, I'm trying to think of anything. Yeah, probably nothing. I mean, I don't really get that embarrassed anymore. Like, I just kind of let stuff breeze by me.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of embarrassing moments probably that I can't even think about or of.
Okay. What don't you want to tell people, but you know you should share because it'll help someone else?
Did you say nobody?
That I'm afraid of people. Like I'm generally seen as pretty like boisterous and like, you know, I am that way when I'm comfortable, but like to admit that I'm like afraid to walk into situations pretty much consistently every day is like kind of annoying for me to have to admit, because I like to think I like have it all together. I also for a long time didn't want to admit to people how much debt I had, because I was really embarrassed, because I just like bought a bunch of stuff and they probably had a little bit of a spending issue. And I was embarrassed of that, you know what I mean? Like that, like I've been on my own since I was 19. I like pride myself in being like faux responsible, and I really like it like came to a head like last October, not this past but the one before, where like we were out and my boyfriend forgot his wallet and I had literally no money, like none on my credit cards, none on my debit card, like $0, and we needed gas, and I was like really embarrassed by that. Okay, so that's a recent embarrassing thing that happened.
Yeah.
And he basically was like, you know, how are we gonna live if I forget my wallet and you can't even buy gas to get us home? Like, and I was really like, I did not want to admit to anybody how like badly I was doing financially, because I just wanted to seem like I had it all together. Like it was not like overdrafting every day.
Yeah.
like every pay period, and I make enough money to live by like, you know, I make enough money to live, right? Like I have pretty low bills right now. I was just ugh.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like I think that's a pretty normal thing, is for people to have financial struggles, and not just because they don't have enough money, but because they're spending too much money. Like, but I didn't want to, because I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to look dumb for like spending all my money on stuff that I didn't need.
Yeah.
I hate looking dumb.
Yeah.
Hate it. That's like my oof.
Okay.
Hate it.
Let's see. What do you feel will restore connection in the world? Or I guess in our generation, the millennial generation.
I think, I mean, again, like my thing is just sort of like trying to maintain relationships over everything else, right? Like I'm not saying like go out and like quit your job and just like have relationships with other people, but I feel like we're so pressed because we got kind of effed, like obviously, you know what I mean? Like there's a ton of pressure. It's really hard just to live and like be and like work and actually be like, we would have to most of us work like 2 jobs to buy a house, you know what I mean? Like it sucks, and we're like pushed, and we have a ton of loan debt, and there's like all this stress that's going on, but like being able to see through that, like, and this is like a fault of mine in my head. I'm like, all that stuff's fake. You know, the debt doesn't exist. And like, if we can see through that and like just not push ourselves, but be willing to like make time for personal relationships, like not get sucked into that trap where we have to like work our lives away. Because I know like the millennial stereotype is like lazy, entitled, but like everybody I know works like a lot of jobs, you know what I mean? Or if they don't work a lot of jobs, they work a lot of hours, right? Like just to be able to like live and pay off the debt, and like just to be willing, like even if you're tired, even if you're, you know, whatever, like to be able to push through that and like maintain those social relationships and those personal relationships, and not get stuck in that cycle of just like working and working and working and working and working. Because at the end of the day, like in a lot of cases, and not every case obviously, like your job doesn't give a shit about you, you know what I mean? But like your friends probably do, and the friends that you could make probably do, you know what I mean? Like if I was like, you know, at my lowest moment, like it wouldn't be my job that was going to, like if I ran out of money, if I had to spend like, you know, $6,000 on something, like it's not gonna be my job that's gonna pay for that,
right?
You know, it's gonna be like a GoFundMe made by my friends,
right?
Like someone's gonna help me, you know what I mean? So to like not get stuck in that trap, even though it is like this huge daunting thing to like make yourself and like live and like try to live in the economy how it is now, and like get over those student loan debts and figure all that stuff out, but just to make time for that, even if you're tired. Which is always. I don't know anyone who's not tired all the time.
I'm so tired.
Same.
Okay, what's the nicest thing you've ever done for somebody?
The nicest thing I've ever done. this is, again, this might not be it, but I don't know why I'm saying, like, these are my answers. There's not like a wrong, I'm like, maybe this isn't the right answer, but so 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, my boyfriend was talking about how he had never had a dog, and I was like, you have to have a dog. He was talking about how he wanted these Labradoodles because they were hyperallergenic. So very impulsively, I went out and I found a Labradoodle on the internet, and I went up to Pennsylvania and I just bought it and I brought it back, and it was a surprise. I just impulsively did not ask his permission to go and get this dog to put. We did not live together at that time. But I just thought that he really wanted it, and that he's really like very pragmatic, and he will think himself out of things. And I just think that he should have had a dog, and now he loves it so much, and they're like best friends, and she follows him around the house. And I just didn't think that he, like, I'm too impulsive. Like, if I think something is a good idea, I'll just do it. Mm-hmm. He won't. Like, he'll think through things, like how dogs are expensive and they poop in your house and they're really hard to raise, right? I didn't think of any of that stuff. I just thought, he needs a dog. Like, he needs to have a dog, and he needs to know what it is, and he keeps talking about it, and I know he'll never do it. And so I just went and I bought her, and I just brought her home with a Christmas hat on her, and I was like, here, I got this dog for you.
Yes. Okay. What is, and this is the last question.
Ooh.
What do you have to say to the world?
Do whatever. Just do. And I'm not great at taking this advice. Like, I have a hard time getting over what people think of me, but like, as long as you're not in anyone else's way, do whatever. And I also, like, don't boundary your friends out of your life. You know what I mean? Like, don't, like, if your friend is feeling sad or sick or being a little crazy, as long as it's not like truly ruining your life, like, consider how much we need each other. Mm-hmm. And like, just be as, not as nice, because I can be pretty rude and like snarky, and I like it and I think it's funny, but like, just be there for your people, even if it takes effort, because that is the most important thing. And then beyond that, just like, loosen up. You know what I mean? Like, don't take anything seriously, except for like, so like, here's the thing. This is it. I got it. So the one serious thing is being as good as you possibly can to other people. Mm-hmm. Everything else is bullshit. Like, professionalism is made up, money is made up, like all of this like stuff and things that you're told that you need to operate. And obviously you have to do those things, right? But don't like make that your whole identity, because it's really, it's not real. Do whatever. Who cares? Just be kind, and like, be a really nice friend, and like, hang with your bros, and like, make some memories and laugh. And like, that is also my advice to myself, because I don't have any chill, but I do love to do those things. And that's it. That's what I have.
Yay!
Did I do okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Show us what you drew.
So this is what I drew.
Oh, it's so pretty. So explain to me this picture.
So I like drawing these little leaves, and this was just the first word that came into my head, and so I do some lettering stuff, and so that's what I drew, because it was the first. When you were showing me these earlier, I just like had the urge to write this word. I have no idea why. I like F's and I like R's and I like curly Q's, and so that's why. That's what came to my brain.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Of course, dude. Thank you. Okay. That was amazing. Yes. Did I do okay? Did I really do okay?
No.
Okay, I'm like,
amazing.
Okay. But really? This is Sara in the flesh.
Yes. Sarah in the flesh.